here, the deck should be okay taking over. Really taking over that. So we're into teething problems now again. So yeah, I had grease on that. I've got a lot of play in that bearing, and it appears to be scraping. It sounds like it's scraping. Oh, that. Don't see any paint chipped. Now my video may pick up paint chipped. I can't see it with me naked eye at the moment. Today I think is the 24th of July. So on the 10th or whatever it was, the 8th of July or whatever it was, when I first got it going, can't remember what date exactly I got it first going, it had some problems. And that was that the belt, which you can see there, I had to turn the belt over. After just cutting this small section here, I'll give another shot of it in a second, it appeared to be fraying the belt in a couple of spots. So I turned the belt over, and I discovered over the far side, which I'll go to now, it took me looking at a couple of other ones on eBay to discover that this arm here was bent up too high, and the belt in here, let me see, in there, was riding up, and you can actually see the bald spot here on the bottom part. So I took the deck off, and I discovered that this plate here is not actually welded in place. It's only sitting there, and it's just a little notch. My finger had a way, it might show up better if I use me now. There where the grass is, in the hole there, that's just a little notch that goes through and holds it in a spot in the deck. Rebent the arm. I bent it at this point here, and I bent it up here in order to line up. But then I had a problem with snagging here on the deck here. And no matter what way I tried to bend it, I didn't want to bend it too much, it still was snagging, so I just took a bit off the edge of it here. So I don't know if that can be seen or not. That piece there. Took a piece off it to allow it to ride in past that. I don't know if it will or not. I still had a problem. It just didn't, the belt just did not seem, the belt didn't seem to have enough tension on it. So the spring in here, I slightly rebent the ends of it on both ends to tension it up more, and that seemed to fix that problem. But then I had another problem, and that was that the belt was still fraying. So I discovered, when I go back around to this side, I discovered that as I had left everything, presuming all the springs were the right holes, this tension spring here was in this hole. And I discovered from looking online that none of them, there's only a couple of them that seem to be in this hole. So I decided this is the wrong spot, and looked, and then I found, let me belly here, there is a hole up under there the spring goes into. But when the spring is in there, you can only get it to about that point. You can only get the end to about that point. Putting plenty of strap on it, so I had to use the old string line. I didn't. I could only get it in past it, and I left it. Now the sad thing is I have to take it off again, and that was a nightmare to get on. Well, I felt it was a nightmare. I'm sure other people have plenty of tricks. So that's its location, not there. So I'll have to take that off. I'm not replacing any more bearings on it. I'm gone, my money's gone dry. It'll have to wait. So I'll take it off and I'll put a spacer or a small washer underneath it to rise up that little bit if that's where it's rubbing. The bearings in the other side of the, what do you call a yoke that holds the bloody blades? Oh, I can't think of it. I can't think of the name offhand. These lads here to hold the blades. The ones on the far side are, the bearings are too noisy. So, other teething problems was a nightmare, and that was the front axle, which I'll add videos after this one to it. The front axle was badly bent here, and although I thought it was just a tracking issue, I had to dismantle the whole thing, and I have videos now of where I've welded it up and everything, and I've turned it around. The axle is very much kicked forward now at the moment, and this is mainly because I have the axle reversed around. It was already kicked backwards, so it's kicked forward at that point, so the back of it should be around about here, so it's out by approximately half an inch, 15 mil thereabout, somewhere around that, and axle being out, so now it's kicked forward, and believe it or not, I actually have it sorted. Now I don't know if it can be seen. I don't know if the camera will pick it up for me. Yeah, you can see there, you can see where the centre of the axle comes through. That's the piece I welded onto it in order to reverse it around. Get your words right. Remember your P's and Q's and your F's and C's. Fuck it. Anyway, oh, that's me F, yeah. So this side here was the far side, but I still have a problem here with this being extended out because I could not get this to come straight. Yeah, so I still have problems. I thought I had the tracking right on it. Like I said, I know it should be towed in a bit on the front. I just don't know how much. I'm guessing that's roughly straight. Yeah, so it should be towed in a bit on the front. How much, I don't know. Last night I had to alter it back, or forward, should I say. Was it forward? Yeah, it was forward. I had to bring the wheel on this side forward a bit, because when I was reversing, the wheels were slightly tearing the surface. So I don't know, I won't know till I cut again and do a bit of driving backwards and forwards to know whether that's any better, but fingers crossed it'll get me out for the season. I'm going to have to get another axle for it. I suppose that'll cost me about 20 or 25 quid on eBay, so €30 and then another €25 to have it shipped, so I'm not really happy with that. One of the other problems I had was these tie rod arms here. Can't find any on eBay, believe it or not. So in order to put more length in this, because my axle is kicked forward, I went and cut one of the track rod ends of the older mower, the one from 1986 I think it is, and I just welded it on there as a temporary thing, welding on well enough, and brought it through, and that's given me, of course, it gives me much more adjustment. So fingers crossed that appears to be working okay. My steering wheel is no longer central, and setting it up as being central is very difficult. So I finished putting my stickers on last night because I knew the paint was more than hard enough now. So that was kind of like the best I could do. I had put on the 150 about 2 weeks ago, and I took a straight line, which was wrong. I should have been taking a line this way, so my 150 is a bit kicked up in the air, but it's okay. and I didn't twig when I was buying the letters that the auto drive is just lower caps. It's a smaller size caps, but as using lowercase there, they actually look okay. I put in order, because that from my orange peel looked quite bad, so in order to take when the sun will reflect in the centre, but it's only for looks purposes, I went and put in MTD there in larger letters and then the SN150A underneath, and it kind of takes that look off it. Kind of takes away from the bare metal, hammered metal finish. Kind of that's really it. Like, I mean, I didn't have too many problems. Everything else, like I said, came up. I touched it around. That's my hole there for me, so it's only a rubber bung. I could probably pick it out right now, yeah. And there's my nut underneath. So it's not as perfect or as central as I thought. It should have been a couple of mil this side. But I'm fairly sure when I have to replace those bearings again, I won't have any problems. I get it ratchet in around it. I might have to loosen the shell, or whatever they want to call it. Might have to loosen that to get in a hat, but I won't have to take it off. So that's kind of like a good end of that. Yeah, everything else has been good. I can't complain. And of course, this was the corner here on the back bracket that was badly bent, and I had to guess that the slight bend that was left in it wouldn't cause any problems, and I'm right. It doesn't cause any problems, but this gap here at this side, it's a little bit more than I'd like it to be. I ain't sure what is causing that. So when the grass box is full, it throws the grass out through this gap. It is, like I said, more on this side, and I can pull it forward a bit and it makes a little bit difference, but not a whole lot. And as I had letters left over, I had an attempt to put an MTD smack in the centre of the handle, which it's not. It's slightly to one side, but who cares? I probably won't use the stickers for anything else, that's why I was using them up. Yeah, so the gap on this side now is nice and snug, so I might get a piece of foam of some description to fill the gap. The handle is starting to get all scratched it. Not really that worried about it, it's just, I mean, it is a good piece of metal. It's just that when that rusts, we're going to have rusty water lodging down there if I'm out in any showers of rain. So, but I did lacquer that, so maybe it's only the lacquer that's getting scuffed. Yeah. No, that wouldn't jam under the seat for me for convenience. Thought I might jam under the seat there. So I don't know I don't know if there originally was something to go along there. I know there's a piece of, I don't know if I can get in it. There's a piece of plastic there, and maybe originally that was supposed to go up tight. That could have been it. That was supposed to go up tight. What's catching on there? Oh, it is catching there. It's catching on that lip. The plastic has gone brittle. The plastic has gone brittle, so maybe that's what's wrong. Maybe the plastic is no longer flexible. So I got one little hole down here which I will stitch with a bit of, I'll get some nice heavy thread and I'll drill a few little tiny holes in this, and I'll actually stitch it and be done with it. I want to try and keep duct tape and gaffer tape off it for a while, so I still have one little dent there, and it's not, or dent, whichever, it's not really noticeable. And I don't know if I can pick up the line on this. I have the line perfect. I've just got a few little humps here. I don't think the camera's going to pick them up. Maybe if I got my body out of the way and went to the other side. Yeah, I can actually see them in the camera. I've got one there and one there and one there, and that's all that's left. And in the first photos you can't see it, and I was stupid. I didn't take a video of when it came for us. I was actually very disappointed in its condition when it came. The photos on eBay showed it up as being a lot better than what it was. And these were a nice bright blue, and now they're like a navy. It just didn't turn out as well as I thought it would, and yeah, just a bit disappointing with that. So all in all, I'm still happy with it. Now, there's the other S end there, and the S is fine, but the N is a bit crooked, a bit drunk. Recording again. My springs come up really well. I did them in kind of a cheap artificial chrome kind of style thing, and then lacquered them, which brought them back to grey. But they're certainly a lot better than spending 20 quid, and I mean pounds, not euros, for 2 second-hand rusty springs. I already had 2 rusty springs. Anybody got any ideas on how to get that spring for the seat back on? I would like to have that on it for purposes of should I ever fall off it. Nobody else is really likely to be using the Mower, but I'd rather have the engine conk out. I can just picture that going off on its own. I tried loads of things and I couldn't. I tried opening and closing the nuts, and I tried everything, and I could not get that spring. I tried pulling it from the back and all, and I just couldn't get enough tension. I could only get it to about here, and I clearly need to go about 1.5 inches to get it on, and I just cannot get it that far. So I could put a weaker spring into it, but that would be a joke, because I mean, if you bounced anyway at all on that seat, it would stall, because it only takes a very small amount for that back to come out. That's kind of, I don't have any other daft questions to ask anyone, unless they have a spare front axle that's not damaged, or not damaged badly, should I say. I mean, this one still has the dent here. It's not that noticeable now. That they would sell reasonably. Like I said, 20 or 25 wouldn't be too bad, but if somebody happened to be in Northern Ireland or whatever, that would be an awful lot better. Be happier with that. Courier wouldn't be as expensive. So I've cut the grass several times with it, and it's doing a grand job. Like this was the first spot I cut, and I had anti-scalp wheels, one setting up higher than that, and I was cutting on level 3, which it's on 4 at the moment there now. It was on 3, so if I put it on 3 now, I can actually see it sinking into the grass. The adjusters in here, I've adjusted them to the highest one. There's 2 holes, so I've set them on the highest one, meaning that there's less travel in it. This is a 15 horsepower. The old engine being a 12 horsepower is actually hard to run juice, and I thought those carburetors were really good, those older style. Couldn't believe how much lighter this is on juice. Now of course I don't mow on full throttle. The first time I mowed this section here, I had to mow on full throttle because the throttle wouldn't stay in a halfway point for me, and I fixed that problem by this mess of, hang on, I'll go to the other side. I fixed it with this mess of plastic ties here. I pulled up the throttle cable and put a nasty go of ties up. I only done it as a temporary thing to try it out, and it actually works, so leave things well enough alone when they're working. So now I can actually cut on a lower rev. Trying to think by a guess as to how far up. I suppose I'd be just slightly high of a halfway mark, and I find that's cutting perfectly. It's just the deck is dreadfully noisy with them bearings. I'll have to do a jobby on them when I have the deck off to clean it down again. So we shall put it back here over the way, out of the way. Yeah, no, we're running a little bit low. Good, thanks for that.